some saying the money minute, the Moicano minute, something, because he is just money. He's been an absolute revelation. He's incredibly talented. He's doing amazing stuff on social media, on his YouTube channel. But as far as fighting is concerned, returning to action on April 13th at UFC 300. Big opportunity for him against Jalen Turner. He's the great Renato Money Moicano. There he is. Renato, my friend. How are you?
What's up, Ariel? Doing very good. How about you, my friend?
Renato, every time you come on, everyone hits me up. We need more, Renato. And I'm like, I can't ask the guy to come on. Afterwards, I'm going to start having to pay him if he's going to be a regular fixture on the show. So once a month, once every two. The people love you. You feel this, right?
Not really. You know, I'm just living my life. Now I realize that people are like liking me more. So if you like to watch my content, go to my YouTube channel, subscribe. Instagram, I'm trying to post as much as possible. This next 3 weeks is going to be hard to post a video because I have a fight, and you know that I got paid by fighting, not by YouTube. So will be a little bit hard for me, but I like to make videos. And if you want to hear me talk, YouTube, Money Moicano, subscribe and like the videos.
I love it. All right, we spoke to you. You had a hard-fought victory not that long ago. And then, I was thinking UFC 301, right? Brazil makes a lot of sense. And then all of a sudden we find out last fight on UFC 300, it's you versus Jalen Turner. How did this all come about?
They call me. I was going to UFC 299 and they call me, hey, Moicano, do you want to fight Jalen Turner on UFC 300? And I'm saying, of course, why not? Let's go. And they say, okay, we're going to announce tonight, okay, on UFC 300. I say, let's go. All the respect in the world for Jalen Turner, but I will finish him. I will beat him. And like I have been saying this, I cannot afford to lose. I don't have time to lose. I love money too much to lose. And I will beat Jalen Turner, keep climbing the ranks, keeping doing my thing.
Were you surprised that they asked you to fight on 300?
I was surprised. I thought like they would put me on UFC 301 or something, or maybe even Paddy Pimblett, right? Because that's a fight that makes sense if you look as a fan, and for Paddy Pimblett and for me. I think that fight would be good too. So I was thinking in some 301 against Jalen Turner, or even Dan Hooker, Benil Dariush, or even go to the England to fight Paddy Pimblett. But I guess UFC 300 is just up the corner, so we still have a lot of options after the fight.
And I think it's a testament to your popularity now that they would want you on this card, right? The fans love you. They needed a big name to kind of put the cherry on top of this UFC 300 card, this highly anticipated card. So why not Money Moicano? It makes all the sense in the world.
Yeah, but I wouldn't go that far because I am on the early prelims, my brother.
But so
the level of disrespect, my brother, to put me on the early prelims.
Davison Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt are the first fight of the night.
Yeah, how crazy is that, right?
That is
how crazy is that.
Do you feel a little disrespected? Joking. No, you're just joking.
I'm joking, but of course I want to be on the main card all the time. I want to cement my name on the UFC and outside UFC. I want to be a guy that people know. I want to take advantage of popularity too. Like I want to make money off that too. So of course, being on the main card will be beneficial to my image, right? But like you're saying, Davison Figueiredo and Cody Garbrandt, first fight of the night. So it's not the place that I want to be, but it's a good place. Even though I don't like it, it's a good place.
I remember, I think it was the last time or maybe the time before, I asked you about UFC 300 and you were very honest with your assessment of the card. Now, how do you feel about it?
Now I am on the UFC and I come to save UFC 300. No, but to be honest, I think will be hard to beat UFC 299. You know, I still think like it's not because I am in UFC 300, but it was not only the card, right? But was the fights. The fights were crazy. Dustin Poirier, crazy knockout. Sean O'Malley. I used to be a critic of Sean O'Malley. I think that he lost to Peter Yan, to be honest with you. I didn't like too much his performance against Peter Yan, but to be completely honest with you, after the fight was a flawless performance. 5 rounds of domination against a tough striker. So I think if he fights Peter Yan again, he will destroy Peter Yan. So
Wow.
UFC 299 was great. Let's see. We have to wait and find out. 3 weeks we're going to see which one is going to be the best card of the year. But for now, I think UFC 299 is still better than 300.
So now with this newfound respect of Sean O'Malley, you think he beats Merab?
Nah, no, I don't think he beats Merab. Stylistically, right? We never know. He got Aljamain Sterling. Aljamain Sterling is a good grappler, a tall fighter for 35. He is heavy, but at the same time, the pressure that Merab has. But at the same time, Cejudo got Merab one time, right? Marlon Moraes, other fighters got the left hook. So the left hook is going to be over there. But I think the pressure of Merab is going to be too much. But right now I don't know. You have to respect Sean O'Malley for what he did to Chito Vera, and you have to respect Chito Vera for hanging with him for 5 rounds, even with a broken face and stuff. So respect to him. And the thing that got me more that I think it's amazing by Sean O'Malley is the way he strike. Very flow. So he can definitely beat everybody on the 135, but Merab is a tough fight for him. If I would have to bet, I would bet in Merab for sure.
And what about your ATT teammate? Speaking of respect, how can you not respect Dustin Poirier, huh? I mean, this guy is
Yeah,
unbelievable, right? I mean, isn't it incredible what he's still doing at this age?
Incredible, unbelievable. I think he represents a fighter in the meaning of the word, right? Because he always put everything through the camps and into the fights. Nobody wanted the fight before, like the top 5, the top 10. Everybody was scared of Benoit Saint-Denis, and Poirier not only knocked him out, but got a lot of money to do so.
Yes.
So he's smart. I look Poirier as a businessman. He's not just a fighter. He's a businessman. He knows his shit, and he's a fan favorite for a reason, right? Unbelievable knockout, and you have to respect the diamond.
I don't know if this person exists, but I'm just wondering. Maybe it's Dustin, but I know he doesn't live in Florida, so he's not there all the time. Who would you say is the captain of ATT? Is there someone who everyone goes to for advice, who you view as sort of like the leader of the team? As far as fighters, I know Dan Lambert is sort of that role too, but as far as the fighters, would you say that there's someone that everyone respects, that no one has an issue with, that people feel comfortable going up to?
I don't think nobody. I think everybody respects Dustin Poirier, but I don't see him as a captain because ATT is so big. We have so many people. We have so many coaches that we have like groups, right? So you have people that train with Mike Brown. You have people that train with Pahumpa. You have people to train with Conor and Mo. Like you have so many coaches. So I think everybody have different people they respect and they look for advice and stuff because it's just too big. I think ATT has more than, I don't know, 50, 60 UFC fighters training over there daily. Not daily, but like all the time. So you go to a training, to wrestling training today, you see like 100 people on the mat. So I think it's a group thing. It's so much people that we got a little bit divided in coaches and stuff. So I don't know if we have a captain, but maybe Masvidal too, right? Everybody used to not only respect but to see what he did different through the way he talked, to the way it's just inspiring his story too. So I think you can learn from everybody, right? You can take advice from everybody that got to the top. So UFC, ATT is a good place to go because you have so much people at the top, so much people training every day, and I'm just blessing to be part of ATT.
By the way, one other question about 299 MVP. What did you think of his style? Did you like his fight?
I like it. I thought that would be a more competitive fight. I thought Kevin Holland would beat him, but again, it's going to be hard to beat that guy on the striking. I think probably right now he's one of the best strikers in MMA in general, and the way he delivered his performance, I like it a lot. I saw a lot of people that were talking shit because he was not being effective, but the spinning elbows, the whole gimmick. He's an artist, right? He's a guy that goes over there and makes a show, and let's see how he does. I think UFC will be very careful on who they're gonna put him against because he's a unique style. But against a wrestler, he's going to have a lot of trouble. We saw like his takedown defense is not the best. Kevin Holland took him down once and like was controlling him. So imagining against a wrestler on this division is not gonna be easy for him.
He said last week on the show that he wanted to fight Ian Garry, but since then Ian said he wasn't so interested because he was ranked lower. Do you like that fight? I love that fight. I think that would be a great fight. What do you think?
I like that fight. I like the fight, but I think Ian Garry is going to fight Colby, right?
You think so?
Probably. I don't know.
This is
I
what he
think so.
wants.
He wants, yeah. And Colby is talking shit through him too. So I think they're gonna make that fight. But I would like to see MVP and Ian Garry.
Who wins, Ian or Colby?
I think Colby.
Wow,
I
really?
think Colby.
Why?
Yeah.
The wrestling?
The wrestling, yeah, the pressure. A lot of people are giving shit to Colby Covington, but he's still he's not young, but I think he still can. I think Ian Garry. Ian Garry. I didn't like his last fight against Geoff Neal. I don't think it was a competitive, like exciting match to watch. And I don't know. I think he would have trouble against Colby.
Did you like being teammates with Colby?
At the time, yes. At the time, he was good, but he was like, "Oh, I do that for just for the views, I don't disrespect Brazilian." He was a character for sure, but at one point, right? At one point, people get, uh, how do I say that? People don't know who is the real Kobe, and
Uh-huh.
so I just don't pay attention to him. I don't give a shit to him.
Okay, fair enough. And by the way, I love getting your opinions on different things. What did you think
Of
of
course.
what did you think of Roadhouse? Did you watch Roadhouse?
No, I didn't. I
Okay.
didn't.
Are you gonna watch it?
Yeah. Not really. I'm not having many time. I will starting a podcast here in Florida.
Oh,
You
nice.
know, yeah, with Home of Fighting, on Instagram they're going to have a podcast. So I have been doing so many stuff like training and doing so much stuff. I don't have much time. I'm not right now at least to watch movies and stuff, and I'm still trying to learn so many things. So I like that McGregor is doing movies and stuff. I think from the clips that I've seen, he did a good job, right? I like the way he's doing. I think he is a star. He can do whatever he wants, right?
Yes, and now it seems like hopefully we're gonna get this fight. Who do you like in it, Chandler or McGregor?
I like McGregor on the fight. I
Wow.
like McGregor on the fight. I think I could be wrong, right? McGregor, long time he didn't fight. We have the leg injury and stuff, but at the same time, I think Chandler is the opponent to make McGregor shine, right? Because I don't think he's going to take McGregor down just because he doesn't shoot for wrestling. He's a wrestler, but we don't see him. We see him brawling, and because he's so short and McGregor is so precise, I think he could get the knockout against Chandler.
Wow. That would be something. By the way, you said that you're
Yeah.
busy doing all kinds of stuff. What about Bitcoin? I hear I'm not a big Bitcoin.
I,
Is it going crazy? And are you a Bitcoin guy?
100%. I love Bitcoin. I love decentralization. I love the fact that Bitcoin for me is not an investment, is more like a hedge fund, right? You can save your money. Because look here, Ariel, before I start to learn and understand about economics, policies, and money, I used to keep my money on the bank. But people that keep their money on the bank are the biggest losers. And they are losing the biggest losers. The biggest losers, the money that you have on your bank account from 5 years ago, you cannot buy like anything. Like let's see the inflation, the houses, the cars, the whole market, like every year because corruption institutions because bad policies are destroying the value of the money. And if you keep the money on your bank, you're just losing money. So I like Bitcoin. Bitcoin is like a way to get your money safe and to get value of the money with the time. It's not an investment because it's not sure. It could goes up and down all every time, but it's better than trust in a money that is backed by politicians and promises, right? So the dollar is not on the best place right now. That's why they are paying a lot of interest, right? 5% interest in some bonds and some high yield accounts. So I like Bitcoins. I like what Bitcoin is doing. The is a revolutionary technology, and soon, if you don't, and I always say that what is best to have a gun or to know how to use a gun. So if you don't have money to buy Bitcoin, try to learn about Bitcoin because in the next couple decades, that's going to be revolutionary and that's going to change a lot of the financial institutions, in my opinion, at
Wow.
least.
Golly, you're such a smart guy. I mean, I can never
No,
give an.
no, I just listen too much podcast and too
You.
much YouTube.
So what do you listen to? You listen to just money podcasts? You don't find that boring?
Depends. UFC nowadays we have like it depends because when I start to talk about money, I say, okay, I have to understand what money is, right? And then I I got back and start to learn about history, why they create the monetary system, why money was backed by gold, how USA start to be the currency reserve money from the world. And then I start to read some Austrian economic books, some books that teach about classical liberalism in the meaning to be liberal with the money and to free markets and all that stuff and history and like every day I try to learn something new. Today I was watching a podcast about antitrust and monopoly, of course, because UFC and all that stuff. I want to have a good opinion about that. And every time that I have that I have a doubt, I'll go to the internet and I start to looking into searching for books that can explain to me what my doubt is. So that way you can learn every day, right? Internet is
Incredible.
free. Yeah, and it's a great source of knowledge if you know how to look it.
Are you surprised that the fighters in the antitrust lawsuit, the class action lawsuit, ended up settling before it went to trial, based on what you've
No,
learned?
no, because it's very hard. I have been learning about the antitrust and monopoly, and of course, UFC has a huge share of the market. But at the same time, I don't think politicians and laws like in boxing they have the Muhammad Ali laws. But I don't think the government is a good place to reparate, right? I think free market and competition is a better way. UFC is just too young, 30 years. They made a sport, right? And that's why they have a huge share because they are the best on what they do. So I was not surprised because in the end of the day, I think the fighters and the lawyers and the people that were trying to 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 get on these antitrust laws, actually, I think they just want money, right? They just want money. That's my opinion. If it was not about money, they would not accept that, and they would continue to try to make a law. But again, I'm against. From what I heard, a lot of people say antitrust is about don't have a monopoly. But from what I heard, and from the Austrian economic perspective, is all about protecting some sectors of the market. So if they do a class antitrust against UFC, that's going to be beneficial to other companies, right? Like PFL and from that stuff. So I don't know too much about it, but my stance is less regulation always is a better thing, right? All like you have to respect individuals' contracts. You have to respect like what the companies want to do. And in the end of the day, we are in a capitalist system, right? It's all about getting as much as capital you can. But of course, you cannot be dishonest, right? You cannot promise something and don't deliver. But in my opinion, in my opinion, I don't see UFC wrong because they want money. They want like to be a profit organization. But everybody thinks different.
Sure, sure. And I hope you understand. I only ask you this question just because you're such a straight shooter and you're such a smart guy that I'm very curious your thoughts, not to try to get you in trouble or anything like that. So, I hope
No,
you.
but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
I don't have any problem with questions. And if you ask me not only about UFC, it's not only about UFC and MMA. If you ask me about antitrust law in every market and in every industry, I would be against the antitrust because, like I say, if you go to the Sherman Act, the first antitrust case even in USA, they were just to protect. They was just trying to protect a share of the market, right? It's just protection, and you have to take case by case. But my stance is on free market is less regulation is better, more competition is better, and eventually the competitors going to get in the same level as the UFC. But right now, UFC is just too good for the other competition. That's my opinion.
What about the fighters having more of a say, association, something like that? Are you in favor of this or no?
I don't know. Like every fight has to decide that, and if they want to unionize or do association, that's up to the fighters. I would not be in the same board because to me, like if I don't like a contract, right, I don't sign. If I don't like the money, I will not sign. But if me and the private company they have agreement, I think we should respect, and and we should not depend on like third parties to see if this is good or this is bad. This is regulation, and again, I'm against regulation. I think a free market society has to decide by themselves, and individuals have to take the responsibility, and they have to decide by themselves what is good and what's bad for them.
By the way, I love listening to you talk about business and money. There's just something very endearing about it. I'm not quite sure what it
Yeah,
is.
it's the broken English. It's the
Yeah, there's
broken
something
English.
about it. It's just, did you graduate from university?
No, I dropped university to pursue my dreams in fighting.
Amazing.
And that's amazing because that's the only thing that worth in your life. Do what you really want. That I always talk about money, but that is something that is more important than money, and it's like what you want to do with your life. And once you realize what you want to do with your life and you are good at, you're gonna make money anyway. So that's my advice to young people that don't know how the life is going to be and how hard it's going to be. Just find something that you are good and that you like, and you're going to be fine.
How old were you when you realized what you wanted to do with your life?
I always want to be a fighter, always since the beginning. But my parents they didn't like the idea, right? So they want me to go to the college and to graduate. So I right from the beginning, I realized what I want to do, and I didn't talk to people, but every day I was trying to make a plan to make it worth it, to make it work, and like fight, and like study, and then training, and then doing all that stuff. But since I was a kid, I knew that I want to be a fighter and I want to be an athlete. But at the same time, I didn't believe in myself too much, so I was always worried. But after my my second MMA fight, I decided that doesn't matter if I'm going to be poor or not. I'm going to do that because I like it. I like the competition. I like, yeah, man, if you never fought, you should try at least once because the what you feel after when you win is amazing. It's just unbelievable because it's so much at stake when you're fighting, not only your physical health, but your mental health and like the way people see you. And a victory in MMA is unbelievable. Is unbelievable. And
Um,
and that's what I think. Man, I want to do that for the rest of my life.
and now you're doing so well. And I love the fact that last time you said no more Apex, they put you in UFC 300. I mean, what's better than that, right? The complete
What's
opposite.
better than that? The
The,
complete opposite. What's better than that? And like I say, that's why I don't like too much that stuff because it's not like I'm going to decide or UFC is going to decide. It's like it's a mutual agreement, right? If I'm doing good for the company, they're going to put me in the good places. If you're not doing good, they don't care about you. So it's all about what you want to do and if you agree or not with the terms, right? So that's why I I love what UFC is doing, and let's go. UFC 300 is right around the corner, and Moicano is winning.
And what about Paddy Pimblett? It's rare that he calls people out, but he seems to want to fight you. I think he said that you owe him some money. What's going on over there?
He seems to be a very tough guy when people have fight schedule, right? Because he all the time, if when I got the fight and then he make a video calling me out, if the video was 2 weeks before, 100% I would accept to fight him. But don't worry, Paddy Pimblett, you you be careful what you wish for, and if you want to fight Moicano, I'm going to fuck you up, my brother, and I'm going to steal your fucking money. Doesn't matter if it's England, in Brazil, Las Vegas, you in fucking trouble, my brother. But again, I'm not thinking Paddy Pimblett, I'm thinking Jalen Turner because he is a tough competition. He is on the top 10 for a reason, and he's been in UFC for a long time. He faced better competition than, of course, Paddy Pimblett, and that's why I'm focused. I'm training to beat Jalen Turner. But I will. Don't get me wrong. I will beat Jalen Turner, and then I can think about this fat motherfucker.
And it feels like the timing is perfect. 300, then maybe you fight in July in England against Paddy, right?
Yeah, the time sounds great, but again,
Yeah.
I'm not taking easy
No,
on
I know.
Jalen Turner, so I'm not making any plans. My only plan is to have my hand raised on UFC 300 and then give the microphone. I'm gonna talk some shit, and then we can talk about all the stuff, you know.
Okay, fair enough. By the way, what about the fact that you're the betting underdog going into this fight? Does that bother you?
Not at all, not at all. I don't care what people think, because in the end of the day, when you got in the octagon, I will. Doesn't matter. Like if I could bet, I would bet on myself, but I can't. So I advise you, if you are a fan, if you're an MMA fan and you like to bet, that's a fucking free money. Money Moicano plus money. Are you kidding me, my brother?
I love it.
That sounds like free money.
Jalen's looked good. His win over Bobby Green was vicious. That was an incredible
Yeah.
finish. How do you feel like it plays out? What do you think?
Like I say, I think he's tough. I think he's durable. He's hard to take down. He has a good distance, knockout power. He's a tough guy. But like I say, Moicano cannot afford to lose. Moicano is not losing. Moicano is over in there. Put a good performance and finish Jalen Turner.
Okay, last question. Someone asked me this last week to rank my favorite fights on 300. I'll just ask you one. What's the most interesting fight on the card, in your opinion, other than yours? What's the one that you think is the most interesting fight?
Man, I like the Charles Oliveira in Sarukian, and I like Max Holloway in Gaethje. I think the way that two fights play out gonna to change the landscape of the lightweight. I think if imagine if Max Holloway beat Gaethje, he's going to be a top contender, and he's a guy that he's a fan favorite, and he can cut a lot of lines, right, to get to the belt. And at the same time, I want to see how the Charles fights Sarukian. I think it's going to be a good night for the lightweight division, UFC 300.
It seems like Islam wants Dustin, huh? You would you be okay with that?
No, no, no. I know the history, and like Dana White say on the press conference after the fight, like the stocks of Dustin Poirier went up to the sky, and I agree with that. I think he deserved that, but at the same time, I don't know. I want to see somebody new, right? I want to see people that didn't have the shot, right? But let's see. Like I always say, I don't make the rules. I just play the game. And UFC knows better than everybody how to make fights. That's the truth. That's the truth. The UFC. That is one thing UFC is good is making the fights that people wanted. Of course, sometimes you make so much good shows that we got UFC 300 like we didn't know, but it is what it is. UFC 299 great, UFC 300 great. Let's see what's next.
MoneyMoicano.com. You can get the merch.
Ah,
Patreon.com. Yes, it's
thank you so much.
Yes,
I
yes.
I almost forget about that. I
Of
would
course.
kill myself.
Yes,
You see these hats.
it's beautiful.
You see this. We have a lot of models, and I don't know why I made a lot of fucking hats. And the t-shirts, I sell all the t-shirts. You know, we're going to have new t-shirts for UFC 300 and stuff. But the fucking hats, I have tons of hats. So if you can help me, moneymoicano.com, and use the code money20 to get discount only on the hats because I have too much.
Okay.
I have too many. Miss of calculation, my brother.
I love it. Patreon.com/MoneyMoicano, and then the YouTube channel. You're killing it. It's such a pleasure to have you on. I really enjoy talking to you and very happy that you're a part of 300. You know, I was not so excited about 300. They put Money Moicano on there. I'm all in. I'll be there. I can't wait.
A lot of people are, and they keeping asking me, and they say, "Hey, what you going to say after your next fight?" I don't know. I don't plan that shit. But one thing is for sure, cheer for me, right? So after I win, I can talk a lot of shit in a broken English way.
I love it. Thank you, Renato. All the best to you. Good luck on April 13th. Appreciate the time as always.
Thank you so much. I want to give a shout out to all MMA fans, all the MMA YouTube, and thank you so much. When MMA Guru, he sent people to my channel and he helped my channel to grow. Not only him, but everybody that is on the MMA YouTube community. Thank you so much, Ariel.
Okay, God bless you. Thanks for watching. We appreciate it very much. Hey, if you like this video, give us the old thumbs up. Subscribe as well. You could get many more of these videos on the channel, so please do that. We would love you forever if you did so.